Shri Sai Satcharitra, the wonderful life teachings of Shri Sai Baba, adapted from the original Marathi book Shri Sai Satcharitra by Govind Raghunath Dabolkar as Hema Pant, Shri Sai Baba the Antaryami. Chapter 1, Salutations. The story of grinding wheat and philosophical significance. According to the ancient and revered custom, Hemad Pant begins the work Sai Satcharitra with various situations. First he make obeisance to the god Ganesha to remove all obstacles and make the work success, and says that Shri Sai is the god Ganesha. Point number 2. Then to the goddess Saraswati Devi to inspire him to write out him, and says that Shri Sai is one of the God and that he is himself singing his own life. Then to the gods Brahma, Vishnu, Shankara, the creating, preserving and destroying deities respectively, and says that Sainath is one in them and he as the great teacher. It was sometime after 1910 AD that I went one fine morning to the masjid in Shri for getting darshan of Sai Baba. I was wonderstruck to see the following phenomenon. After washing his mouth and face, Sai Baba began to make preparations for grinding wheat. He spread a sack on the floor and thereon set a hand wheel. He took some quantity of wheat in a winnowing fan, and then drawing up the sleeves of his kafani, a unique kind of attire, and taking hold of the peg of the hand mill, started grinding the wheat by putting a few handfuls and rotate the hand strong in circular way. I thought what business Baba had with the grinding of wheat, when he possessed nothing and stored nothing. He lived on alms. Some people who had come there thought similar, but none had the courage to ask Baba what he was doing. Immediately, this news of Baba's grinding wheat spread into the village, and at once men and women ran to the masjid and flocked there to see Baba's act. 4 women from crowd forced away pushing inside and took forcibly the handle into their hands, and singing Baba's leelas started grinding. At first Baba was enraged, since the women are stopping him from this devotional work, but later Baba found the affection from these ladies. He was much pleased and began to smile. While they were grinding, they began to think that Baba had no house, no property, no children, none to look after. He did not require any wheat flour for making a few chapatis for his own, and later he will distribute the flour amongst us. Thinking in this way, while singing, they finished the grinding. After putting the hand mill aside, they divided the flour into 4 portions and began to remove them one per head. Baba, who was quiet till now, got wild and started, "Ladies, are you gone mad? Whose father's property are you looting away? Have I borrowed any wheat from you? Let me do my work with peace. Take the flour and throw it on the village border limits." On hearing, the women felt something weird, and they talked to themselves, went away to the outskirts of the village and spread the flour as directed by Lord Baba. I asked the Shri people, what was this Baba did? They replied that the cholera epidemic was spread in the village, and this was remedy against the same. It was not wheat that was ground, but cholera itself into pieces and pushed out of the village. From this time onward, the cholera epidemic subsided, and the people of the village were happy. I was much pleased to know about this, but at the same time, my curiosity was also aroused. I began to ask myself what earthly connection was there between the wheat flour and cholera. What was the causal relation might occur, and how conceal them? The incident seems to be inexplicable. I should write something on this and understand the content of Baba's heart. Thinking this way, the Leela, my heart was filled with joy, and I was thus inspired to write Baba's life, the Satcharitra. Philosophical significance of grinding. Apart from the meaning which the people of Shri put on this incident of grinding wheat, there is, we think, a philosophical significance is occurring. Sai Baba lived in Shri about 60 years, and during this long duration, he did the business of grinding almost every day. Not alone the wheat, he conquered on the sins, the mental and physical applications and miseries of his innumerable devotees. The two stones of his meal consisted of karma and bhakti, the former being lower and the latter on the top. The handle with which Baba worked the meal consisted of janana. It was the firm conviction of Baba that knowledge or self-realization is not possible unless there is the prior act of grinding of all our impulses, desires, sins, and the three gunas, that is sattva, raja, and tama, and finally ahamkara, which is so subtle and therefore so difficult to get rid of. This reminds us similar to the story of Sant Kabir, who seen a lady grinding corn and said, I am weeping because I feel the agony of being crushed in the wheel of worldly existence like a corn in this handmill. On this, Guru Nipantiranjani replied, don't be afraid. Hold fast to handle the knowledge of this meal as I do, and do not wander far away for the same, but turn inward to the center, and you are sure to be saved. Now, bow to Shri Sai, peace to be all. So friend, this was the end of chapter 1. And please continue to subscribe this channel. We are going forward with all this content, unless from the blessings of great Shri Sai. Take care of yourselves.